It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Jen Cohen as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Hello and welcome to Countywide. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're talking with Marilyn Huffman. She's from the Better Business Bureau. Yes, you might know her as the Regional Director for the Pacific Southwest. Well, she's here with us today to talk about all kinds of things. There's never nothing to talk about with the BBB, is there, Marilyn?
You know, there's always something interesting to share, to warn people about, or positive things that we, different programs we offer for kids and adults and all that. So yeah, there's always something available.
Yeah. So if we go to the website, bbb.org, what do we find when we click on that website? What are we going to see?
So you're going to find Getting to Know You section. A lot of people are not aware. They think we're just a complaint department, and that's actually less than 10% of what we offer, the programs that we offer. And then there's a consumer section that's literally for consumer education, talking about scams, talking about fraud, talking about how to protect yourself, steps to take. And then there's an entire section for businesses. They also are targeted by scams. Sometimes it's the utility scam. Sometimes it's the merchant credit card machine scams. So they definitely can be a target also. And then there's a lot of education that we offer for consumers and for businesses. And for consumers, it is all the way down to teenage, up to seniors. So we cover kind of a wide range. And then we have different programs like the BBB Torch Awards for Ethics, where that we recognize businesses that are ethical and have done an amazing job, not only with their business and with the environment within their business, their employees, great morale going on, but then they also give back to their community. And so we focus on that and let them talk about and share how they give back to the community, because guess what, when you're a business, that's almost one of your jobs to support the community that supports you. I mean, this is a two-way street here. There's scholarship programs for high school students, and yeah, I get to do lots of fun things, not just mediate complaints.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love about the website is the latest thing that's going on. Like, okay, watch out for this. Like right now it's sweepstakes and lotteries and prize schemes. You guess what? You won this really great prize. Did I? I didn't register one. Doesn't we got your name from blah. What's happening in that department these days?
Well, they're still contacting people in the same way, but they have ever-evolving methods to adapt or adjust to our world. Before, with lotteries and sweepstakes, it would always be something that you got in the mail, or maybe you would go to an event, whether it was a home and garden show or an NBA game or an NFL game, and you'd sign up to win a vacation to Hawaii or to win this money here, and then before you know it, your information's being sold and people are calling you and all that. So they're still obviously concentrating on the senior market. Average age for this scam, the study that we did came back saying it's between 65 and 74 years that they tend to target. They do it through direct mail, cold calling, like actually just giving them a call, social media sites, pop-ups on smartphones. More and more, this age group is becoming savvy. They are learning how to utilize technology, and they're not afraid to use it. I have a 91-year-old grandma who shops online. She might have a few too many shoes. She loves to shop for shoes online, but it just goes to show that they're not afraid to learn something new. At least some of them, maybe, but not all of them. And so you have to be on guard about these offers. They are deceitful, and because of the type of people that they target, you are more susceptible. They have found that that age group is more susceptible if they've had a negative life event. And a lot of times as you get older, maybe you've lost a friend, maybe you've lost a spouse, maybe you really have had, for some people, retirement is a positive thing, and for others, they realize that they kind of defined their self-worth by having something to do. So if they don't get involved in giving back in some way or volunteering, that can also be a negative life event for, it's an adjustment. You know, maybe your kid's moving out and going to college and all of a sudden you have empty nest. So you can be susceptible to these types of scams.
Well, sure. How you're feeling well-being. If someone comes up to you with a scam and you're feeling great about yourself, you might go, I don't know. But if you're like, oh, wow, I could really use this. It's been tough lately. I see how that would make you more susceptible.
Absolutely. And when they sound so matter-of-fact about the fact that you just need to wire this amount of money or you just need to pay this amount of taxes, everyone has heard or knows that you have to pay taxes on money that you win, especially large amounts. And when they're contacting you about these sweepstakes or these lotteries, I mean, we're thousands, sometimes millions of dollars is what you're told that you are going to win. There was a gentleman who we interviewed for this study and who spoke to media and was on the news, and he was told that he was going to win. One gentleman was told he was going to win up to, I think it was $92,000, but his fees that he had to pay were going to be probably around $5,500. So they told him up front, this is what you're going to have to do, and these are the steps that you're going to take. And he knowingly took them, and he kicked himself afterwards saying, you know, I'm an educated man. Why in the world would I give $5,500 to someone I don't know? I didn't sign up to win. I didn't buy a lottery ticket. You know, it's so frustrating what is out there.
There you go. So as we can see, it's not just a certain demographic or a certain type of level of education for people. You know, scams are getting higher educated people. They're getting young, they're getting old now because their tactics have so evolved. It's broadened it out now, and even folks with, you know, a whole lot of education are still getting taken.
Yeah, and they become your friend. I mean, they are very intelligent people, and they will seem nice and seem as if they have your best interest at heart. One of the other gentlemen that we talked to, he was in his 80s, he took a phone call, and he was told he had won $60 million. But he had specific fees that he had to pay. He needed to transfer the fees and then pay the taxes on that money before he could receive it. There were several instances where he was informed that an armored truck awaited him with the money, but he had to pay the taxes first on the funds. So he ended up losing nearly $8 million. And in his mind, when he was interviewed, he had planned on utilizing that money to make a donation to the university he had attended, where he got his doctorate. So, I mean, these are well-educated people who, in his mind, he was like, this is going to be a great way that I can help out in a way that I never thought I would be able to. And I'll be able to send all of my grandkids to college and not have to worry about it. You know, you have these very grandiose ideas, and it's just, you want to hold on to that, that hope. And so they play on that.
Wow. So yeah, they're preying on people for normal human emotions, you know, wanting to support friends and family, or wanting to do good things in the world, or just needing a lift after a bad day, you know, that kind of thing. You can pretty much guarantee somebody's going to be having a bad day, and they might just call them. So wow, we have to watch out for cold calls, for direct mailing, for online pop-ups. That's a big one these days, the online pop-ups. So much to watch, but don't freak out. Marilyn's here. She'll tell you everything you need to know.
There you go.
We've got to take a really quick break, but we'll be right back with more Countywide. You're going to come back and talk with Marilyn Huffman from the BBB. Check out bbb.org. We'll be right back.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires. making was a big part of the foundation of what I wanted my children to do and to have fun with.
Growing up in the Bushnell house was like nutty professor craziness. I know, that's true.
Getting burned on a hot glue gun, that was okay. You know, burning themselves with a soldering iron, that was okay.
I was 6 when I learned how to solder.
We learned how to paint, we learned how to sheetrock, and all these things had such lasting impact.
I felt that creativity would give them entree into being able to do anything they wanted.
Whatever we showed our dad, it was always the coolest thing in the world to him.
Good ideas are very often considered silly at their outset.
And by that definition, we haven't even really grown up, you know? I mean, the projects have just gotten bigger.
We all make and have fun. Now the question is, why do you make?
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Jen Cohen. We're talking with Marilyn Huffman, who is the Regional Director for the BBB Pacific Southwest. And we've been talking about the latest study from the BBB regarding sweepstakes, lotteries, and prize schemes. Who's the most vulnerable, and how about these ever-evolving tactics? They're always changing it, because we are catching on. You got to give us some credit. We are catching on. So they have to change it and tweak it, just find new ways to scam us out of money.
You know what? It's true. They are definitely deceptive. But yes, because we do catch on, because we do spread the word, because we do try to protect people and prevent people, they are constantly having to come up with new ways or new ideas on how to reach people, how to connect with people. In 2017, we had almost 3,000 individuals who reported sweepstakes and or lottery scams to our BBB scam tracker. Our BBB scam tracker is also available on our website. It's a map of the United States, and you'll see all of these little pins all over the map, and they'll show you what areas are highly targeted for scams, and then what type of scam. So you can click on those little pins, the information, and find out where you're at in the U.S. and what kind of scams are targeting your area specifically.
Oh, interesting.
That are being reported. Now, I will tell you, 3,000 reports, an average loss of around $500 for that reports. That adds up. Last year, we were in the $5 billion for money lost.
Wow.
This is only people who took the time to report.
Wow.
Because people are, and what we've discovered in some of our studies, more educated than we think that are being scammed, a lot of times that leads to a level of embarrassment. And so instead of doing what they really should do, which is say, I goofed, we've all done it. We have all made mistakes. We have all had things happen in our lives that may embarrass us, but let's learn from it and hopefully help other people learn from it, protect them, prevent. I always say that when I come here, that the moment that you think you are invulnerable is the moment that you are most vulnerable. So yes, 3,000 individuals reported just last year, only on sweepstakes and lottery scams. That doesn't count all of the other scams that we report on. We do a top 10 list every year, and if you'd like, I can share some of those later. But basically, it's just a matter of taking the time to say, I'm embarrassed by this, but I'm gonna take the time to report. So according to this study, that 3,000 is probably closer to 10. Wow. Because only about 25 to 30% of the people are going to really take the time to get in touch with us, go to our website, go to that scam tracker, and actually report that information.
That's 10,000 people for 2017, and that's just sweepstakes and lottery scams.
I mean, that's our estimate, yeah. We actually had about 3,000 people who took the time to report, but on average, yeah, because it's time consuming, it can be, and it can be embarrassing. Now, we don't shout to the world on the BBB Scam Tracker who you are. Your information is protected. You don't have to give your name. You know, I mean, that's for internal purposes. Yes, we ask you to do that in case we need to contact you with questions. But you can say, no, you don't want to talk to the media. If you want to remain anonymous, that's perfectly fine. But take the time. It's worth it.
And that helps you help us in return, because you're learning about the tactics, learning about the new scams,
Absolutely.
and thus can hopefully prevent someone else. So if you've been scammed for any reason whatsoever, you can help someone else not be scammed, or help the
Correct.
BBB understand new scams that are ever evolving. So go to bbb.org, and if they go to the scam tracker, you can see. That's interesting. I wonder if like lottery scams are more prevalent in Minnesota, or IRS are more prevalent in Arizona, or I bet you see that clouds of different things happening.
You do. You see pockets on the East Coast up towards the New York area. That area, very prevalent for scams. Florida, a lot of the retirement states.
Yes.
We are definitely up there.
Wow.
Because Arizona is known for that. So yes, there are definitely, you can see it across the board.
Wow.
And you can definitely see which scams are targeting which areas.
That's true. And which people. I mean, it used to be, pretty much it used to be just elderly folks and retired folks who were being scammed. And now military is a huge portion of folks being scammed. And also now millennials as well, the young people, because there's so much online work.
You said it.
Wow.
Yeah, they are the #1 age group of people that are taken advantage of by scammers, millennials, because of online. They tend to lose less money because they don't usually have as much money. So when military or older people are taken advantage of, the losses tend to be greater.
Sure. Yeah. Wow.
I know, it's just, it's amazing the different things that are out there. I will tell you, true lotteries or sweepstakes, they don't ask for money up front. That's just not the way it works. So if they ask for money for taxes, for themselves, for a third party, a processing fee, it's only a $10 processing fee. And now your name and information is on what they call a sucker list. And so you will be a target for future schemes. Even Publishers Clearinghouse has a warning on their page that says, please know a lot of people are out there, and that's what scammers do. They use a name instead of Publishers Clearinghouse. They'll just refer to themselves as PCH. They'll snag that name from them. They'll say they're Publisher's House or they're the Clearinghouse. So it's very similar names as a way to draw you in. And we tell people all the time, Publisher's Clearinghouse, they do not have a sweepstakes where they call people in advance to tell them that they've won. Their sweepstake is just like you see it on TV, where they literally show up at someone's door with balloons and a big check. I mean, that is literally what they do.
That is it. They don't call you ahead of time.
They do not call you ahead of time. They do not ask you for money up front. I mean, that's just, that's not what they do. And if you really need to, you can do an internet search of the company or the person who contacted you. They should be willing to provide that information if they're legitimate. Law enforcement does not call and award prizes saying, hey, you were taken advantage of here.
The IRS doesn't call you.
You can talk to a family friend. Talk to a bank before you make any decisions, before you do anything. Contact us. Just having that other person to bounce ideas off of can help you slow your roll, basically, and not make off-the-cuff decisions.
Be informed. Take a minute, take a breath, be informed.
And there's even a number. If you give us a call, we'll give you the number for the North American Association of State and Provincial Lotteries. I mean, there's an actual entity out there available, local state agencies, and then federal, that we can give you the information to contact to really, if you really, really want to go that deep.
Well, super. Well, check out bbb.org. Lots of information there for you, including that. bbb.org. We've got to take a short break, but we'll be right back with more Countywide, so don't go away.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
How I define making? In the broadest possible terms, it is making something extant in the world that didn't exist. Everybody who's ever made anything is bringing something into fruition for a reason, and that act in and of itself makes us stewards of our culture. It's something that we're talking about. It's a response. Actually, it's telling a story. That's really what it is. And I include everything that could be made: painting, sculpture, welding, all of that.
Yellow is positive.
When a kid gets their hands on the world and learns that they can make their fantasy play, that they can make their reality, that's power. And as far as I'm concerned, everyone should feel that kind of power. There we go. If there's something that interests you to bring into the world, that's fantastic. Go figure out how to do it. Go tell your own story. There it is. And so I want to know why you make. Let's go.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Back to Countywide, just a few seconds left. Okay, we're talking with Marilyn Huffman, who is the Regional Director for the Better Business Bureau of the Pacific Southwest. Now, we've got a list. Marilyn's brought a list of the top 10 riskiest scams at the moment.
That is correct. So, number one, online purchase scam. It's just, you think that you're getting something legitimate, and you are not. Now, sometimes that can be through something like Craigslist or eBay. Those companies do the best that they possibly can to vet who's on their sites, but just know that if it's not HTTPS secure, and if it's something that just doesn't sound right, like you're buying a big huge tractor and you're not able to go see it before you can purchase it, or oh no, we'll go ahead and ship it to you, you just send us half the money, you know, those types of things. So just be very cautious of that. Investment scams, those are up. I don't know if it's because the economy is, you know, booming a little bit more, so people feel a little bit more confident, so they're wanting to invest their money. But that has gone up. Employment scams still at number 3. There are no change, and you know, people are graduating from college, and unfortunately, there are not jobs to be had in maybe the degree that they've received. So they are going to a job site, and those job sites, they do the best that they can to vet also. But people sometimes will post things. They'll offer work at home. They'll make it sound like it's going to be easy. You can work 2 days a week and earn thousands of dollars a month, you know, and all of this. And all you have to do is invest $100 into this marketing product over here, or $200 into our classes online. And, you know, you'll be some kind of guru and earning tons of money, and it just... Stay away from those. Advanced fee loans, you should never have to pay money up front for a loan, ever. Fake check scam, where you get a check in the mail and they say, hey, go ahead and cash this and pay us $200 out of the $2,000, and then take the rest of that money and go shopping for Walmart or go shopping on Amazon. They use names that are familiar to you and say that they work with them, just as a way to make you feel comfortable and to make you buy into the actual scam. They are not working for Walmart. They are not working for Amazon. If you randomly get a check in the mail and we're not expecting it in any manner, always feel free to let us know or take it to your bank and have them look at it. And most people don't know also they have the right to cash the check. And don't spend that money. It takes about 3 weeks usually for a bank to verify that it's legitimate or not. So if you spend the money, then you owe your bank that money. However, If you don't, then you're free and clear.
Oh my gosh, what else have we got?
It'll
We've got
save
a couple
you.
seconds left.
Sure. Home improvement scams, tech support scams, travel and vacation scams, which we talked about earlier, is on the list. That has never been on the list before for top 10.
Oh my gosh.
Family and friend emergency.
That's a big one.
Huge, where you
Grandpa,
get the call.
I need help. Yeah, forget that.
And then the government grant scam. That is new to the top 10 also. We're seeing that grow. I always tell people, if the government calls and offers you money, you should probably chuckle and just hang up the phone.
So check out bbb.org. This list is on the website. Check it out. Can't stress that enough. Go to bbb.org. That's all the time we have for Countywide. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.